are the same.
Let us now understand the difference between Shaktis and Siddhis.
As you might have heard the term, this is a very common term used for evidence on manifestation. So let us look at the difference between Shaktis and Siddhis. Shaktis, it's the space of enlightenment as a side effect of the enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are from tapas or penance for enlightenment and are on the path of enlightenment.
To ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after initiation from the avatar. Shaktis are permanent. However, Siddhis are not permanent and they may divert you from enlightenment.
And the source of all these Shaktis is Paramashivoham, who is a primordial divinity in Hinduism, all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. And as the Sthiti, which is sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, which is rejuvenation, through Baba, pulling out of delusion, and Anugraha, which is liberating grace for all living entities. And the Supreme Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan, has come down by an ancient enlightened Hindu civilization. And it was where the science of enlightenment and powers was lived and taught as a lifestyle. And for the first time in modern day, the supreme point of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transmitting it to the which is never accomplished before. And all of knowledge and the science of power manifestation is authentic, is passed down from one generation to the next through the science of Diksha, which is initiation by enlightened gurus. And the supreme point of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught into these sciences to revive the initiations and knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of power manifestation from the disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra, Srividya, Yoga, and powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, Paramashivoham, and much more.
So every ultimate truth, jnana, is mapped into our consciousness, prajna, which manifests as possibilities and power of every being, the prajnana.
And the science of power manifestation is authenticated through four aspects of evidences or pramanas, as I said earlier. So the first is the Shastra Pramana, which are the eternal, unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures. And then the next is the Apta Pramana, which are the experiences and results of Aptas or authorities of Hinduism, where the Vedic rishis and scientists have time tested and verified these sciences.
This millennium's avatar, personal experience, and we have Pratiksha Pramana, or the empirical evidence from the observation and scientific experimentation.
Now, many of you might have heard you would have heard about the Vedas and Agmas. Many of you might be familiar with the Vedas and Agmas. So let us see what exactly the Vedas are, in which superior authority of Hindus and our pure science by the ultimate truths are explained. And the Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology and the applied sciences are given the states of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva. They are the ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. And a reference cited from these Shastras or source scriptures is called the Shastra Pramana.
Let us now get ready to witness a very unique and exciting demonstration of the power of third eye.
Yes, so we'll be first seeing the power of third eye, which is seeing with the eyes blindfolded. And the Shastra for this power comes from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Kapalantarmanonyasya tishthanmilitalochanaha kramena manasodadyat lakshye lakshyamuttamam. By fixing the mind on the inner space within succession, by the mind is the ultimate goal lakshyam, by having and the next is the Apta Pramana, where Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye during the revelation of the Hindu Purana Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna beautifully, Natu mam shakyase drashtu manenaiva svachakshisha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogamaishwaram. And the translation of this verse says, but you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore, I grant you divine third eye vision. Behold my cosmic opulence. So this comes from the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye, and this 11th chapter contains the form which is completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Bhagavan Krishna through.
And the Atma Pramana, the experience of Swamiji himself about these, in Swamiji's own words, the first experience that I was able to see everything around me, about experience all of that as me. And empirical evidence from experimentation. And a study was conducted on the supreme concept of where they compared the metabolic cell activity of the brain in conscious and negative and meditative states using the positron emission. And when doing, it was found that when doing daily activities, high activity is measured into 90% of the rest of the brain that eats. And the Sakshi Pramana, the experiences and results of the extraordinary manifestations happening to the initiated disciples of the Supreme Concept system. This rare sacred science of third eye awakening is being made available to humanity for their ultimate enrichment and conscious evolution by the Supreme Concept of Buddhism. And as the living incarnation of Paramashiva, the supreme profound yogic states that surpass all the other spiritual sciences through the initiation of Diksha of millions of people who have been initiated and are experiencing the profound results as extraordinary powers in their everyday lives. So now, witnessing and experiencing the live Sakti, the live demonstration of these extraordinary powers by.
Yes. So now, here with me I have this eye band, which in front is a thick opaque plastic sheet, and in the back there's thick black sponge, which will not allow any type of light to enter. And my eyes would sit into these two sockets over here. Or if you can see, and will also the eye band will also be covering the bridge of the nose. And it is actually just, and this is now be put on my eyes by a volunteer. And once it is done, any of you watching us, put your comments in the Yes, you can put it a little tighter. Yes. Yes, so now the eye band up, and so all of you can see that the eye band has been put. There's no gaps anywhere. And now the YouTube comment section will be projected in front of me, and we'll also be projecting it for all of you. Yes, Ma Susan Davidson has put Nithyanandama. It's Nithyanandama. And the comments are being projected for all of you as well. So all of you can also see, all of you watching us live, you can see the comment section being projected as well. Shivam, who has put Arunachala. Susan Davidson has put, so nice to see you manifesting this power. Yes, now another comment is there from Lojen Hao Satyajatusham, who has put Mount Kailash. Yes, so you can use emojis, numbers, let's a random sentence that does not even make sense, and it can be any. Yes, and here with me, I also have this Guaranteed Solutions book. And yes, we have another comment from our Susan Davidson, who's beautiful fall colors happening in Canada. Yes, that's book of Guaranteed Solutions with me. So any of you watch live, you can put a specific number that you would maybe you can put 73, then I can open page number 73 and read that page. If any number of your choice, you can put that page and I will open that page and read the contents of that page. So you can, any of you watching us live right now, you can put your comments that you would like me to read, and you can also put yes, so Ma Pushkala Nitya has Ma Pushkala Nanda Nitya has put 100 Davidson has put page 33. So yes, I'll open page number 5. So you can all see the book, and then now I'll be opening page 164, 158, okay, so 155. Page number 155, it says, yes, and yes, Ma, I've opened page number 155. So the contents of that page, we're actually there. You would have surely not thought that that's all. This is how you delude yourself with your worries. You totally miss the beauty of the present when you are in tune with the every moment is a celebration. You will continue to be in the present because you are celebrating every moment. You will never go to the past for celebrating. So that is the first two paras of this page. So this is page number 155. Now I'll be opening page number 33, which Ma Susan Davidson has commented. Okay, so this is page 33, disciple towards his city. On the way, there was a river that was flowing. There was a beautiful woman standing near it. When she saw them, she requested the master to help her cross the river. The master promptly carried her to the other side of the river, left her there, and returned. The disciple was totally disturbed by what he saw. He was burning inside with what he saw. As they walked along towards the city, he couldn't resist asking, Master, how can you, as a master, touch and carry a young girl? So this is starting the story. I'll continue the story on the next page. And it says, the master replied, I let her there long. Why are you still carrying her? So that is the end of the story. And all of you the story as well. Yes. And now if anyone else also would like to put your comments in the YouTube comment section, you can put your comments. So yes, Ma Pushkalananda has put wonderful Ma, then Namaskar emoji, 2 clapping emojis, and a thank you and an excellent Ma. And yes, now with that, let us now get into the next power, the power of body scanning. I request the volunteer to now remove the IBAN. All of you can see as the IBAN is being removed. Yes, so all of you can see the IBAN. It is just as it was before, there is nothing added or removed from it. And now we will be getting into the next power, the power of body scanning. So for those of you who might be joining us newly, and if you might be wondering what exactly this power of body scanning is, the power of body scanning is the power that awakens several diseases, illnesses, medically diagnosed issues, body, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. And the best part is power of body scanning. So the first is the Shastra Pramana, which comes from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Swadehe jagato vapi sukshma sukshmatarani cha tattvani yani nilayam dhyatvante vyajyate para. And this verse is, cognize deeply that from intuitive principles of your whole body, Swadeha, or of the whole Paramashiva, by the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi Adi Shakti, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation happens. And the next is the Apta Pramana, which comes from the life of Siddha. So Terya was a Siddha and one of the prominent disciples of Agastya. And Agastya one day uses the power of body scanning when a man suffering from severe headache comes to him. So Agastya, using the power of body scanning, he identifies the headache and he reveals that there is a stay. Immediately instructs his disciple Terya to perform an open. And the next is the Atma Pramana, which was revealed by the Supreme Point of Hinduism himself on the 22nd December 2019, of how he uses the power of body scanning. Paraphrasing his words, multiple compound hand fracture, I was forced organs. It was revealed our knowledge. I use allopathy as a second opinion to verify my findings. And here all of you can see a few sakshi, the sharings of the disciples who have successfully manifested the scanning and experienced it. Here are just a few, but thousands around the world have experienced and manifested this power, and even you will be able to manifest this power. So now let us get into the live demonstration of this power of body scanning. So anyone who can put your comments in the YouTube comment section. Yes, Ma Susan Davidson has put as a proper consent is needed for this power. And anyone else also watching us live on YouTube now, you can put your comment. Watching us right now, you can put your comments in the live YouTube comment section and request for a body scan. Yes, anyone who would like a body scan, you can put your comment. You'll be wondering how exactly this power is manifested, how it is shown, and how it manifests. For any power, not only for the power of body scanning, but for any power, the first thing is by connect the key, the secret password, passcode to connect in the space of oneness with Paramashiva and Swamiji. So the Mahavakya is the gift given to the world by Swamiji to connect with Paramashiva and Swamiji. So just by chanting that and connecting in the space of oneness with Swamiji and declaring to manifest the power, you will be able to manifest the power. And yes, now we have a comment from Ma Jenkwa who has asked, Ma, I want a body scan. Tell me anything. Yes, Ma. Now, yes, so Ma Jenkwa, what I was able to see for you, Ma, was that in your stomach there is um lots of the digested is getting accumulated in your, because it's like um it is not getting digested and it should come out. So in the next few months it can become probably germs which will be eating the stomach wall as well. The solution that Paramashiva revealed this problem was that you have to morning, and also in the afternoon you should drink 1 cup of hot water with little honey in it, organic honey. You should start drinking that and and that will help in healing your body more. So this is what Paramashiva revealed for you, Ma Jankya. And if you're able to read it, you can get back in the comment section. And yes, Ma Tracy Cutter, now I'll be doing a scan for you. Yes, so what I was able to see for you, Ma, was that your backbone is, you're actually quite healthy. I was able to see just your backbone is actually getting little not weak, but it is getting little stiff. And that is actually because you're not sitting straight most in your nasal part, especially blockage of lots of dust particles that is also giving an impact on the back, was that you have to start sitting straight consciously, start sitting straight. Be aware when you sit, and start sitting straight, and even few times throughout the day whenever you remember. You also sit in Padmasana whenever possible. And for your nose, I was able to see for the blockage, you should actually clear the throat. I was able to see if you start clearing your throat, then automatically even that area will get cleansed. So you can do the neti, and also you can whichever method you use to just clear your throat. You can drink water, and just make sure that you clean and clear the throat of all the phlegm and everything, and that will help in healing the nasal part and removing the dust blockage. So this is what I was able to see for you, and you can get back in the comment section if you were able to relate. And yes, Ma Zhengqua has gone back saying thank you, Ma. Yes, Ma, I'll do it. Yes, thank you, Ma, for getting back. And yes, with that, I thank you for this power manifestation segment. And we will now be station of any other power. You can always come every day at 2 a.m. IST and 4 p.m. IST for the power manifestation segments and all the other. So I once again thank all of you who have joined us for the power manifestation segment. And yes, Tracy Tucker has gone. So once again, I thank all of you who have joined us for the power manifestation, and we will now be moving to the next segment of this program, where we will be learning more about Devi Parashakti, especially during this season of Navaratri. We will be learning about her form that we are celebrating today on the 7th day of Navaratri. We will be learning about how the world is today and the way forward. So please stay tuned for the further segments of this program.
So now let us enter into this next segment and understand what is the way forward as we are stuck in the world today, this ongoing pandemic, pralaya, so much of suffering and destruction around us. Let us see what Hinduism has offered as a solution. Currently, the total confirmed COVID-19 cases is well over 233.5 million people. As of the 1st of October, it's risen to more than 150,000 per day in the United States alone. And the average population increase per day is 174,893 per day, as the rate of those getting infected is almost on average rate of population growth. And per day, an additional 0.002% of is getting infected by COVID-19. COVID-19, and this is rising daily. And unfortunately, so we've had attempts at lockdown, quarantine, vaccination. None of these have provided the solution or are necessarily feasible for everyone across the globe. The average rate of death per day is 126,500 people. This is about 0.5 of the world. This is deaths for all possible causes. The average death per year is 44.4 million people and growing each year. This is, again, for all possible causes of death. So if we say just for our that the population growth per day and death rate are moving years, we will see the decline of the entire population.
And here you can see the need of a global solution that works across all national policies. And you can also see the situation of the WHO regions. America, which has 89 million confirmed cases, Europe, which has 70 million confirmed cases, then Southeast Asia, which has 43 million confirmed cases, then the Eastern Mediterranean, which has 15 million confirmed cases, and the Western Pacific, which has 8 million confirmed cases, and Africa, which has 6 million confirmed cases.
Floods have faced so much of destruction from these natural calamities caused due to the climate change crisis and global warming. According to the United Nations, the new scientific report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, warns that we are on a crash course towards catastrophe if global temperatures are allowed to rise anymore. And the window to slow or even halt some of these works is rapidly closing. The drastic difference between just a 0.5 degree of difference between of temperature rising could have very dire consequences if just instead of 1.2 degrees, 1.5 degrees Celsius, the temperatures rise to 2 degrees Celsius. We could see very drastic, realistic changes in our everyday lives. So it is highly important to very seriously, cautiously, and curb the emission, facing the consequences of it if we do not.
And a few immediate precautionary methods that all of us need to take is protecting ourselves by being in quarantine and following the local government's guidelines, and regulations. But even if this happens, the effect on our survival needs like food, clothes, and shelter, especially for the less privileged whom we call poor, for whom resources are not immediately available. In the Brihadaranya Upanishad, fourth Adhyaya and fourth mantra, the fifth mantra defines karma in a verse, and it says, Yata kari, yata chari, tata bhavati, sadhu bhavati, papa kari, papi bhavati, punya punyena, karmana bhavati, papa papena. And the translation for this verse is, as it does it and acts. So it becomes, by doing good, it becomes good. And by doing evil, it becomes evil. It becomes virtuous to good acts and vicious to evil acts.
It is our greed to make life luxurious and comfortable, which is causing so much destruction around us. 82% of wild mammals have already become extinct since the rise of the human civilization. 80% of all marine mammals have already become extinct. 50% of all plant life and 50% of fish have become extinct due to the rise of the human population. We need to stop the idea that the whole planet Earth belongs to only the human race.
And we have forgotten that we share the world with others. So let us set a trend of moving to a nature-based lifestyle, and let's stop torturing and killing animals, and let's drop the idea that planet Earth is exclusively for us.
And we've seen the effects of the meat industry and how much it damages, how much of drain it is on resources, the natural resources that we have. Just 1 kg of wheat takes 15,000 liters of fresh water to produce. In comparison, lentils or any plant-based product, based food, takes less than 5,000 liters of to kill animals. Not only you disturb the environment, you disturb the ecosystem by releasing so much of
And what is the permanent solution for this pandemic? As per Hinduism, the purpose of the world, the primary principle of the universe is let us all coexist and celebrate our life. Ahimsa Paramo Dharma.
Let's stop all the actions from anger, lust, greed, pride, jealousy, and delusion. Let us move back to the Hindu lifestyle, the lifestyle of aptigraha, asteya, and ahimsa, the lifestyle of non-stealing, living with minimal things, and non-violence.
And every crisis that humanity faces, Hinduism has found solutions. Hinduism is a religion which has seen at least 5 complete wipeouts of planet Earth and the wiping out of civilization. And we have the knowledge. We have recorded and documented every time when civilization was wiped out and how we have rebuilt it.
Let us look at some of the world histories and of when the human civilization had almost become extinct, and Hindus, the incarnation, had brought the solution. Bhagavan Vishnu incarnated to bring the Veda and the Agamas back from the dark energy during the manifestation of the universe in the form of fish, the Matsyavatara, and landed on planet Earth to give it to Lord Brahma. After a great deluge, Bhagavan Vishnu brought Manu's book and the Vedagamas, the whole thing, and restarted the civilization. That is why the Pandya kingdom, the earliest kingdom, has a fish as their to the land by the Matsyavatara. From there, the whole Pandya civilization started. During King Ravana's reign, 7 crore people were ruled by King Ravana and his iron fist. Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra, 54 days, the entire world nuclear collapse, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna incarnated to end this apocalypse. And this is detailed in the Mahabharata. And Bhagavan Mahadeva himself protected the city of Varanasi, promising, I will hold these people, protect them, even during the pralaya, even when the whole world loses. I'll hold these people in the tip of my trishula.
And in the Upanishads, the rishis celebrate the happening of incarnations who come down, liberate people from crisis. And in the Taittiriya Upanishad, verse 3, Briguvali section, ahamannam 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 ahamannado ahamannado ahamannadaha.
The ultimate conscious happens again, Acharya as Guru and as incarnation. Paramashiva reaching out to liberate individual souls from bondages through knowledge and Acharya. Paramashiva reaching individual souls to liberate them from bondage through initiation, the Shakti Pada and Shakti Pada, is Guru reaching out to individuals. The future is Leela, and the manifestation to do these Leelas are incarnation.
Dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam shrujamiham, which means whenever there is a decline in individual consciousness, the collective unconsciousness increases. To establish the righteousness of the eternal consciousness, the signs of eternal bliss, dharma samstapanartaya, I myself appear millennium after millennium, sambhavami yuge yuge. And humanity, time and again during crisis. Let us now learn about the form of Devi Parashakti that all of us are celebrating today on the 7th day of Navaratri. So the form that we are celebrating today is the form of Devi Durga, where Devi Parashakti manifests the form of Devi Durga. So in this next segment, let us learn about Devi Durga. So in Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 11, verse Sarva Shakti Samanvite, the translation is, O Queen of all, you who, O Devi, salutations be to you, Devi Durga. And another verse beautifully says, Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute, which means, I bow down to the goddess Narayani, who makes everything auspicious, as she is the most auspicious one, and also fulfills all the desires of those who come for the shelter of the three-eyed Gauri.
Devi Durga, the beautiful Durga mantra, is recited during almost all the celebrations, rituals, and events of Ma Durga. Also, a highly powerful mantra means that Devi Ma is the most auspicious one and the one who bestows auspiciousness upon all of the world. She is pure and holy, who surrenders to her, and is also called the mother of the three worlds, the mountain king, and can give wisdom and strength along with a prosperous life.
And who brings compassion, peace, and calm, and order to the chaos, destruction, and conflict in any situation.
She is worshipped in different forms and is a form of Shakti. The word Durga embodies freedom from all evils like injustice, cruelty, hatred, ego, and other forms of pain and suffering. Thus, this is one of the most powerful and decorated gods in the Hindu religion.
And the legend goes that Durga was created by Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva to fight the demon Mahishasura, who could not be defeated by either man or God and was continuously raining terror on man and God alike. And the weapons held by Durga are given to her by each of the gods and symbolize the culmination of all the divine powers in her. Shiva's trident or Trishul, Vishnu's discus or Sudarshana chakra, different gods.
Ramakrishna says if you utter the name going in front of you, rotating his Trishul trident, he will be just rotating his Trishul so all the negativity are destroyed.
So focus on success in your life's goals. If you are not terrorized by the fears society wants to dump on you, if you decide not to be exploited by the fear society wants to dump on you, you will see the simple, straightforward, actual, real dangers, strategies, and save yourself. The Shakti of Durga is in you.
Now, listen to Devi Parashakti's divine play from the Devi Mahatmyam story.
So Devi Durga is now surrounded after the demons Chanda and Munda dated by a demon named Raktabija. Whenever a drop of his blood falls on earth, another demon, identical size and strength, springs up. Just as in
the fighting demons proliferate from and utter terror seizes the gods until Durga merely smiles until they perish between her gnashing teeth, and Raktabija, drained of blood, falls dead.
and this scene bridges two levels of reality. On one level, the red drops of Raktabija's blood represent the overwhelm to maturity and bursts with seeds for the next planting.
Every desire produces the seeds of many more, and we find we are never satisfied. The ghastly image of Kali in her red-eyed, emaciated form, known as Chamunda, avidly licking up the drops of blood, tells us that desires are best conquered when nipped in the bud.
And this century, most of us are caught up in conflicting desires, changing every minute, moving from one desire to the next.
Unconsciously today. Whether it is thinking or talking or doing, it is done unconsciously without awareness.
And that is the reason we are not able to connect the cause and the effect of many of the things that happen in our lives. We always think we have been dished out unfair results. We are blissfully unaware that it was we who caused the effects. We made it happen by way of unconscious living and without being more karma.
The first step is to have a clear understanding that karma is powerless in the presence of the incarnation. Somewhere this karma chakra needs to be broken and you need to be given a new energy and possibility. You are always stuck. These can be given to you only when the divine intervention happens. Mahadeva intervenes in your life in the form of Guru. He assumes ultimately enlightenment. It means the ideas or knowledge or the clicks that bring you out of these depressive thoughts, that bring you out of this influence of your karma. So now let us understand the supreme concept of Nithyananda Paramashivam as the Nityavatara of Devi Parashakti herself. The Kailasa, one of the Shamana Vita Sarvakimsam, the rare and sacred lineage of concepts, has been systematically carried over in unbroken progression from the ages. The chosen emissaries of Lord Paramashiva and Devi Parashakti, the Guru Mahasannidhanam, the concepts of Kailasa, one of the Shamana Vita Sarvakimsam, are the direct representatives of the cosmos. On the 27th of April 2012, Srila Shri Nithyananda Shri Jnana Sambandha Deshika Paramachari Swamigal was formally appointed as the lawful successor, descendant, and inheritor, invested with all the powers, duties, obligations to perform the rituals, the spiritual, religious, and customary rites vested in the Kailasana, the Shramana Pita that has been reviving this spiritual, religious, and linguistic epicenter to its original glory since. Now let us look at the Madurai Adinam, the very kingdom, the enlightenment ecosystem of Devi Meenakshi and Bhagwan Sureshwara. Sorry for the technical glitch. We will be watching that video very shortly. So in this video, we will be understanding the history of Kamalapita Sabinapita, how Devi Meenakshi of this kingdom, and now bringing it back to its original. Let us now watch that video.
The ancient temple town of Madurai in southern India boasts of a 2,500-year-old history of spirituality. Its existence back to the 3rd century BC, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities of the world. Legend says that Madurai was established by the cosmic mother herself, who incarnated as Princess Meenakshi, daughter of the pious king Malayadwaja Pandian. Of Shaiva Siddhanta tradition, the story goes that as a baby, Tirunjana Sambandar was once nourished by the milk of enlightenment from the cosmic mother herself. This child prodigy arrived in Madurai to effortlessly defeat the learned Jain monks with his wisdom, healing powers, and restored Madurai to her beloved religion, Shaivism, by reviving the ancient Madurai Adinam and the Meenakshi temple, which had fallen to desolate ruin. Madurai Adinam is today the world's oldest living Hindu organization, with a recorded history alone spanning a glorious 1,500 years, lineage of illustrious pontiffs to this very day. Over the centuries, the pontiff of the Madurai Adinam is known by the title Guru Mahasannidhanam and inherits the responsibility of carrying forward the traditions of Tirunjana Sambandar's sacred work.
On 27th April 2012, a new era began in the history of Madurai Adinam. The 292nd Pontiff, Sri Shri Arunagirinatha Jnana Sambandha Desika Paramacharya Swamigal, guided by intuition and inducement by Lord Shiva, coronated a charismatic young saint as the 293rd Pontiff Madurai Adinam.
An accomplished yogi, a pragmatic social visionary by millions worldwide. Within weeks of his ascent to the sacred throne, he brought about sweeping changes to the Adinam. In ancient monastery, Annadan, free food for thousands every day, free medical camps, yoga classes, scriptural study, spiritual healing and meditation programs. The traditional Adinam now has a website and two-way video conferencing. Vast properties belonging to the Adinam are being reclaimed from illegal encroachment. Its numerous temples are being restored to sanctity, and the neighboring villages are with basic amenities, education and medical care has already waited too long.
Here, I take the commitment of making Madurai Adinam as an international, all the responsibilities of Madurai Adinam make in Saiva tradition alive, revived.
A brand new pontiff at its helm, Madurai Adinam proved to be more than just another traditional monastery, as a changing role of spiritual organizations today, as power centers and guiding forces, forging the enlightened government of the new world.
श्रीविद्यां शिववामभागनिलया ह्रीङ्कारमन्त्रोज्ज्वला श्रीचक्राङ्कितबिम्ब
Yes. Now that we've understood the history of the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailasa Nithyananda Paramashivam has declared about the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, has revealed as his vision from Bhagavan Paramashivoham himself. The 292nd Pontiff of Madhuri Adinam, Sri Arunagiri-Nada Jnana-Sambandha-Deshika Paramacharya Swamigal, is the predecessor to the Supreme Concept of Hinduism and the esteemed Guru-based tradition Vadashanta Shamla Bija Sarvajivita, the Madhuri Adinam since 2012. The 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam had the divine vision of Bhagavan Paramashiva and Devi Meenakshi, who instructed him to coronate the avatar as his successor, the 203rd Guru Mahasannidhanam. And this historic record of Madhuri Adinam, this is the historic, in this video you can see the historic record of Madhuri Adinam, introducing the successor, the Supreme Pontiff himself, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And you are welcome to watch this video online on YouTube and see the full description of what the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam had to say about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the incarnation of Paramashiva himself.
And here you can see a few pictures of the Supreme Pontiff Hinduism incarnated as the 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailasa Shamla Peetham.
And the 200 coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Madurai, the oldest in the Papal state and the monastic kingdom, at the age of 34, and has been reviving this enlightenment ecosystem of these temples under this ecosystem.
And here you can see the Supreme Pontiff Hinduism, who has been declared as the successor of the Arunachala Sarvajñapītam by the Guru Parampara at the age of 16 on the 34th of May 1994.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the International Nithyananda Sangha to revive Kailasa internationally at the mere age of 20 in 1999. And Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapīta at the age of 24 in 2002.
So here you can see the pictures of the Adi Kailasa.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been declared as the successor of the Bhagyanagara Shivpura Sarvajñapīta in 2004.
Has also been coordinated as the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsha Sarangi Samrajyam of the Suryavamsha lineage at the age of 26 on the 31st of December 2004.
Panchadasa is the reviver of the Adi Pallava Sarvajna Pita at the age of 29 in 2007. And as the successor of Kashi Sarvajna
Has been coronated as the successor of the Kashi Sarvajna. And he is actually the youngest Mahamandeshwar to be coronated as the head of Mahamandeshwar Pada.
It was declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwara, the oldest monastic order of Hinduism by the Acharya Mahamandaleshwara Sukhdevananda, the then incumbent spiritual head at the age of 35 in 2013. Has been coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tanjavur Adinam. And the Supreme Pancha has been coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tiruvarur Adinam at the age of 36 in 2014. And at the age of 36, the Supreme Pancha is also coordinated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Vedaranya Adinam. In 2015. And at the age of 37 in 2015, the Supreme Pancha was Sannidhanam of the Adipita Kollada Mutt, the oldest mutt in Karnataka. And at the age of 36 in 2016, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu coronated, recognized by 1,000 Hindu leaders as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the foremost leader of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific, most viewed guru in the digital world, and has been read and watched by. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the creator of the digital Hindu nation with over 1 billion views, and you can connect with Kailasa, the greatest digital nation, via their platform. And Pontiff of Hinduism has contributed over 23 vegetarian food banks, medical services to sustainable Hindu practices through various international agencies and bodies, and many more. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been tirelessly working to bring super conscious breakthrough to humanity over the last 27 years. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Here and in Tamil and Spanish as well. All of these are freely available for anyone to download, read, and enjoy. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has over 20 million copies of books and articles sold, read, and downloaded. Here is the release of these most famous publications, including Living Enlightenment book. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been working tirelessly to digitize, decode, and make all of this freely available for humanity to benefit.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has delivered over 1,000 hours of discourses with over 1 billion views on social media.
Is respected as a commentator of all the sacred.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader.
And most recently, the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, the California State Senate, as the sovereign of the sovereign state of Kailasa, and has been January 3rd has been declared as the Nithyananda Day in the state of California to recognize the contributions of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has also been acclaimed as one of the top 10 spiritually influential living personalities in Body, Mind, Spirit magazine. Hinduism is a reviver of the sovereign order of Kailasa, led by Supreme Court of Hinduism and the Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and the Hindu diaspora, who are working for global peace and to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity.
The Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism is the establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems around the world.
Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the founder and reviver of over 100 Sadhyapitas.
And various heads and leaders of various akhadas and mutts around India and around the world have recognized the Supreme Court of form of Paramashivoham, the Akhada Parishad, a group of 13 akhadas and over 2 welcomes the Supreme Court of Hinduism, Jagadguru Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, as one day the Supreme Court of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam Swamiji, is going to be called the Vishwa Guru, the Guru of the whole world. And he is going to be the spiritual guide, and peace will spread in the whole world. People are not yet aware of his energy, of the energy of Swamiji in reality. Swamiji is the Swarupa, form of Bhagavan, God. And we are offering prayers not just to a Guru, but to an embodiment of Bhagavan. I am sure that Swamiji must have done intense penance, tapas, in his childhood and merged into God, as a result of which he is expressing this divine power. You can watch the video where Narendra Maharaj has spoken and about the Supreme.
And Sri Shanta Veer Mahaswami is the head of the Kolara Mutt, the oldest recorded mutt in Karnataka, dating back to more than 6,500 years, and has declared with his authority that whenever humanity falls into suffering and pain, Ishwar, the divine himself, does austerities tapas for the upliftment. Ishwar is the embodiment of the divine light, and Nithyanandaji Maharaj is seated as the embodied divine light, peace, and serving the whole of humanity from India. Nithyanandaji is a treasure house of jnana, the sacred knowledge.
And just like this, various different matas and akhadas have spoken about the Supreme Court of Hinduism. Now, with that, let us move to the next segment of this program where all of us will be Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam as the Guru.
of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, happening as the Guru in our life, the conscious breakthrough. As Swamiji has shared, there is only the moment the decision comes, such a spontaneous energy is released in you without even micro millisecond, the decision is executed. It becomes action reality. You are habituated. Muscle memory is responsible for making the decision and executing it micro milliseconds before the yoga. The purpose of your life happens in you. Analyze, understand, take the thought to its logical conclusion for the purpose of raise the coherence of your system to its highest possible peak. Violence is anti-yoga, against yoga. When you have the thought of violence, how to bring the pratipaksha bhavana. Get yourself back to non-violence and not to allow the violence to get root, suffering, and it will bring it. This is the pratipaksha bhavana. That is the right way of living yama and niyama, having confidence over your understanding and executing that understanding very strongly. The word confidence means courage to live and execute the truths you intellectually grasp. Pratipaksha bhavana means inability to create the contrary thoughts to negativity and destroy negativity will allow negativity to grow in you. Once the negativity grasps you over, your life is hell, you're done, you're done. Negativity arises in you, don't give up. Stand up, feel confidence. Ramana Maharshi very beautifully says, Kalvara Agathinil entered my house to rob me. Where were you? Were you not in my? So when negativity enters to rob you, very important. Immediately responding to your negativity, catch the thief in the right moment. Possibility. It is not necessary. You need to continuously project negativity or positivity on the future possibility. Simply seeing the future possibility without projecting negativity or positivity onto it is living prarabdha. The Zen masters say, even what you think is wrong, if it is done by a wise man and enlightened being, accept it. It is good for you. And this science gifted to humanity by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the 17th of December 2010. Let us watch this powerful discourse which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gifted to us for deeper understandings of the science.
I welcome you all with my love and respects. Today, straight way out of ignorance. Straight way to be out of ignorance. In the sutra, Patanjali gives one of the powerful method, a technique, to be out of ignorance, to establish yourself in yama and niyama, to raise yourself to the highest coherence. You will be surprised. Today's Patanjali utters more than 5 or 6 words in one sutra, maximum 5 or 6. Sometimes just 2 words, one sutra. Even there is one sutra, only 1 word. Here, he gives a full 21 to give for this technique. I'll read the sutra and try to express the truth expressed in this sutra, embedded in this sutra. This is the 85th sutra of Patanjali in chapter 2, 34th verse. Vidarkaha himsaha adayaha krita karita anumodita lopa krodha moha purvaka mrutu madhya adimatra dukkha ajnana phala idi. Yesterday Patanjali gave us a technique how to create the contrary thoughts and establish yourself in the right yama and niyama, in the highest coherence. Now he is expanding on that same, giving an example, because he doesn't want people to misunderstand. Understand? This sutra can be very easily misunderstood. So he is giving us an example so that we don't misunderstand. We don't miss it, because just missing this one whole spiritual practice. Have confidence over falsehood and so forth, whether committed, caused or approved, either to avarice or anger or ignorance, whether slight, they result in infinite ignorance and misery. This is the method of thinking the contrary. He is giving us the technique. Swami Prabhavananda translates as, the obstacles to yoga, such acts of violence, are approved. They may be motivated by greed, anger or self-interest. They may be small or moderate or great, but they never cease to result in pain and ignorance. One should overcome distracting thoughts by remembering this. Swami Sachidananda translates as, anger or infatuation, whether indulged in with mild, medium or extreme intensity, they are based on ignorance and bring certain pain. Reflecting thus is also pratipaksha bhavanam. Each translation, if you see, they are actually completely from different angle. This is the greatness of Vedic tradition. We give freedom as per the understanding of an acharya way. Swami Prabhavananda, who is disciple of Vivekananda, who belongs to Vivekananda Sampradaya, he translates this completely different way and as fish it, and people respect it. That is the amount of freedom we have. Understand? You can refute, alter, amend your guru's words. Maybe after, I don't know, maybe 50 years, altered or even contrary, the greatness is, his translation is also accepted. In the same order publication, both books. That's the greatness of our freedom of thinking, freedom of express. As I experienced this sutra, Vidarka Himsadaya Krita Karitanumodita Lopa Krodha Moga Purvaka Mrutu Madhyadimatra Dukkha Jnananta Phala iti Pratipaksha Bhavanam. I'll tell you exactly how Raghupati Yogi, now I can remember the whole slide as it is. How Raghupati Yogi taught me this sutra. In Arunachaleshwara temple, place called Krittigai Mandapam, that was the stone Mantapa, where he used to teach me the Yoga and Yoga Sutra. He was sitting on a wooden plank. He was sitting on some 4 or 5 pillows. That's the way he will do. He will sit on that. And I will have to continuously do the pranayam. The way he will teach the levitation. If I am getting down, when he removes the pillow, then he will stop and ask me to do more pranayama and kumbhaka. And then after he removes all the pillows, if I am stable, then he will get his pet dog to sit under me. That fellow will be sitting. Because if I release, I will fall on the ground and I will fall on that fellow and that fellow will bite me. So I will have to be just holding on. Or land in a very slow way. Very slowly, in a very subtle way, I have to release the air. Not even through the nose. I have to release the air through the kurma nadi. Means such sensitive prana. Release the air through the nostril itself, you will just fall. Because nostril is a too big hole. So that has to be locked. It's not called. The air which leaves your system, other than the nostril holes, is called up. Slowly I have to release and then land on the. I have to balance and land on the dog so that he doesn't bite me. So I was sitting on 4 or 5 pillows and he had an old book in which the Sanskrit sutra will be there and Tamil translation will be there. He read out. I was sitting and asked, what does it mean? And let me exactly tell you in Tamil, then I'll translate. Because it's exactly I'll repeat the word. ஒரு எண்ணம் வரும்பொழுது செய்யணும் அப்படின்னு தோன்றதுக்கு பதிலா இது மாத்துனா நமக்குள்ள என்ன நடக்கும்னு பார்த்து அந்த மாத்து எண்ணத்தை விதைக்கிறதான் பிரதிபக்ஷ பாவனம். I'll translate. When a thought and put an alternative thought is called pratibhaksha bhavana. A very simple way he finished it. I'll explain step by step. This is a one technique, one process which you can practice whole day. Practice unclenching, your mind will be transformed. If you practice yoga, your body will be transformed. So each technique transforms some part of you. This is the only technique which can transform your muscle memory. Means the part which makes the decision spontaneously to do any act and completes it with decision. And without even micro-millisecond completing the act. Before even you are aware of it. Please understand. As I was telling the other day, you do not act the way you act because you are habituated. No. You are trained. No. You have engraved memory. There is no space. Such a spontaneous is released in you. Reality. See the funny thing. It's very funny and very difficult to understand. Grasping is such a difficult thing. So unless you understand the source of this, it's practically impossible for you to alter. Muscle memory is responsible for where? Such dangerous thing, you see. So the muscle memory need to be attended. This is the only technique which can attend the muscle memory. I need to expand on this technique detailed way. Today I'll give you the simple meaning. Then how to, Patanjali says, for example, violence is anti-yoga, against yoga. When you have the thought of violence, how to bring the pratipaksha bhavana, get yourself back to non-violence, not to allow the violence to get rooted in you. Remembering, no, violence will bring suffering and it will bring ignorance. I should not allow it. So he's teaching us reasoning. Down and teaching us the applied way. It means almost that this one process is so powerful, it can transform your being. If you transform your intellect, even emotion, not muscle memory, you are in suffering. I tell you. Because I have seen. I have had many disciples whose intellect and emotion was transformed. Unfortunately, they never transformed. Muscle memory transformation means every thought comes out only with sensor system. The awareness and consciousness has casted their energy, their shining, their knowledge on that thought. Even if few thoughts allowed without awareness can cause so much misery and suffering, can cause so much. I have seen people suffering because they allowed just simple one or two things. Whenever the negative thoughts which are against the yoga, the purpose of your life happens in you, analyze, understand, take that thought to its logical conclusion and create the opposite understanding, means the right understanding for the purpose of your life, and raise the coherence of your system to its highest possible peak. That is the right way of living. Yama. Having confidence. The word confidence means courage to live and execute the truths you intellectually grasp. I have a story for you guys. One boy goes to his father and asks, "What's the difference between confident and confidential?" Of that, I am confident. Your friend Timmy is also my son. That is confidential. Sometime you need to time the stories properly, time the jokes properly. So understanding about confidence, the courage to live the truth and in your body language. In because we all suffer with this one suffering, unable to get ideal in practical life. Again, creating the Pratipaksha Bhavana means creating contrary thoughts to negativity and bringing yourself back to your center. Difficult job, people feel lazy. That is why sometimes I need to push them to do that job. Sometimes push them to get back to their center. Because inability Bhaksha Bhavana will allow negativity to grow in you. Once the negativity grasps you over, your life is in hell. You are done. You are done. Even if it is fake, the restful awareness and peace and joy are over you. But even if it is so-called logically strong idea, if you are restless, suffering, those torture, restlessness and suffering will stay inside, and these strong logical thoughts will become more and more powerful over you. So Patanjas on Yama and Niyama, highest coherence of life, and told us how to be established in that, and giving us now technique, the applied technique. When you have violence, is giving us an example First time in Patanjali Sutra, I am seeing an example. He doesn't wait to give example, and he just gives the sutra and goes. He knows because his disciples were such high intelligent people. Giving example means something very important. Disciples understand, very important. Please understand. It's a very important process for all spiritual seekers in the life. Creating contrary thoughts, because whenever negativity rises in you, don't give up. Don't flow with it. Don't go with it. Again and again and again stand up till your muscle memories feel confidence. I can say that this is the one process which has raised my whole awareness in the young age. I used to, whatever spiritual things, all the essence I'll write down. Necessity to understand, I'll read that. I'll read that. With me. Book. Now I'm trying to remember the contents of my book to publish, because there are so many things I have noted down in that book which I heard from Arunagiri Yogeshwara directly. Almost it's like I'll remind me. All my pratibhaksha bhavanas have come to a human being. I have solution in that book. And I'll always refer to it. It's almost like my guide. I'll continuously cherish, and get those inner space and establish myself again into yoga. Understand, even if you miss once the timing of creating the right thought against the wrong thought, you are caught. Timing is very important. I have a story for you about timing. Little dirty, it's okay. Sometime, for the sake of understanding, it can be accepted. A man was in the restaurant and he suddenly realized he has a gas problem. He needed to release. He timed his gas with a beat of music. After a couple of songs, he started to feel better and relieved. He finished his coffee and noticed that suddenly everybody is staring at him. Then suddenly he remembered and realized that he was listening to his iPod. Time it properly with understanding. Time it based on your iPod. No, timing is really important. Ramana Maharshi says very beautifully, Aimbula kalvar agattinil pugumbodu agattini ilayo arunachala. O Lord, when my house to rob me and to rape me, where were you? Were you not? Immediately bring the security, the right understanding, right attitude against the negativity. Timing is very important. Timing. Immediately to your negativity. Catch the thief in right moment. Catch the negativity the moment he enters your house. Don't wait. You can talk to him in the police station. No. That won't work. It's like putting the camera everywhere. What is the use? Thief has disappeared. What will you do? I tell them, put better locks than the bigger cameras. If not, better to have locks. Thief is not going to be bothered. The camera is there. He comes and robs and goes away. So understand, the moment negativity enters you, put the brake, stop it. Have the inner awakening and immediately create the right understanding so that you can be out of that negativity. I'll expand on the sutra every day. Patience. Because this is the one sutra I practiced more number of times in my life. More than, because unclutching just in 2 times, 2 moment. But this only made my whole bio-memory pure and radiating. I bless you all to achieve Nithyananda. Thank you.
Yes, and now with that powerful right understanding of Pratipaksha Bhavana, the science that has been given to us through the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and explanation, the beautiful understandings. Take up a few internalization exercises, apply what we have learned, and understand this science further. So, in this first exercise, you can look into yourself and see where you close the door. Sometimes it could be learning a new language or learning something as fear is nothing but the projection of negativity on the future possibility, and you can pen them down. So you can take a couple of minutes for this exercise and internalize this understandings further.
Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Now, let's internalize further. Pen down the action your muscle memory took when the negativity tried to break in you. Fell asleep, scratched an old wound, went for a drive, went for a drink, entertained a smoke, had a long phone conversations. Look, so now let's take a couple of minutes to internalize this further.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Now, further, the next step. Now, let's look at how to break the negativity. Just pick one action and look back. In that exact moment, what was going through you? What emotion were you feeling? What words were you using for yourself? For example, it won't happen now. I missed the deadline. I'm done. How often do you use these words? Why are you doing what you're doing? So now, take
Paramashivoham. Nanda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nanda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
And now, let's move into the next step in this exercise. Let's change the future, complete, and go beyond. Just pick one cognition. Live intensely the first time you worked out of this cognition. Speak intensely. Set up one for yourself. So speak intensely to the Supreme, tell your friends that they might also be unconsciously addicted to certain habits that's stopping their possibility and impacting their health. So let's take a couple more minutes now for this internalization and deeper understanding.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Where we have learned more about the deeper understandings, the knowledge that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given us to receive the darshan and Devi in Adi Kailash. With these powerful cognitions, get ready to receive Devi Parashakti's as we participate
Now, let us see for all these days, how when we celebrated Radha Rajeshwari, and then Maha Meenakshi, and then Kamakshi, Annapurneshwari, Vishalakshi, and Shaina Tirukkolam, and then Devi Lakshmi, and today Durga. And then tomorrow we're going to celebrate the Adi Parashakti as Saraswati. So these are the various offerings are Maha Shodasopachara Puja, Chandi Homa, Vishesha Dravya Homa, and Purnahuti. Dasha Bhairava Puja, Kumar Puja, Suvasini Puja, Durga Pratima Pratishtapana, Saptami Puja, Arati, Devi Matyam Parayanam, Durga Ashtami Puja, and Durga Kumari Puja, Durga Navami Puja, Ayudha Puja, Mahanaivedya Seva on Vijay Dashami, Pada Puja on Vijay Dashami, Tulabharam on Vijay Dashami, Ussava Venkateshwara Alankara Seva, Ussava Venkateshwara Navakalasha Abhishekam.
and let us now understand more about the various sevas and rituals that we can offer. So the alankar decorated in the Alankara means decoration and also that which causes the deep sense of fulfillment. Alamkara, alamkaroti iti alankara. So you can offer this on the website www.kailasamailer.com/seva.
The next is Ussava Ambala.
And the cost for the seva is 500.
The next is the Ussava Ambal, Alankara Seva. Every day, the Ussava Murti of Parashakti is decorated in her various different manifestations. Offering of the Alankara Seva, who liberates us from the cycle of birth and death. Ussava Ambal Alankara Seva is $508.
And the next offering is the Swamiji Vishesha Ambal Alankara Seva. Every day, the Sachala Muism in the Garbha Mandir of the Nithyananda Paramashiva Devalayam, in the various manifestations of Parashakti, Pontiff of Hinduism, bestows the deep fulfillment in life thereby taking us closer to the Guru who liberates us from the cycle of birth and the Mahatma gives this boon and blessings to all the beings, which from the Mathurana has several of her devotees, and it says, "Tha bhavishyati tada tadavati." Trouble arises due to the advent of the demons. I shall incarnate and destroy the foes. So this Navaratri, we are celebrating Devi Parashakti and Devi Parashakti. See further the various other.
Vishesha Sodashopachara Puja. The Usavamurti of Parashakti is decorated in her various manifestations and is worshipped with 16 offerings that are favorite to Parashakti. As part of it, a special Samputika Archana will be offered with the 108 names of her manifestations describing her divine qualities. Samputika Karana is unique to the Shakta Sampradaya, where two mantras are merged together to offer worship. A select verse from the Devi Mahatyam will be 108 names, and the next is Chandi Homa, Vishesha Dravya Homa, and Purnahuti. Chanting Sanskrit mantra, when chanted by power manifestations, Dvijas, that means twice born, are those who are reborn from Shaktipata, clearing the air of the fire ritual. We have to have the cosmic permission to invoke Chandika at the chanting of the Devi Mahatyam to be repeated 10 times to bring a cosmic alliance to invoke Chandika Devi in the Agni. To do oblations into the Chandi Agni for the 700 verses of the Devi Mahatyam, the repetition of the chanting of the 700 verses should happen 10 times. This is what is known as the Shamsha. It is a powerful way to consecrate the visual ecosystem of the Yajna Shala, of the place of fire worship. The group will be chanting 10 times repetition part within which Chandika Parameshwari is invoked. The veneration can bring life positive effects to anyone who hears these sacred shlokas according to the chapter 11 of Devi energies, Devata of Chandika Parameshwari are invoked in numerous water parts surrounding the yajna is described in the scriptures to be the 9x9 grid format, which has the Pradhana Kalasha as the central square of the mandala grid. Toranam represents 4 Vedas, representing the Yajnishala for negative energies to ward it off. The 4 Vedas to life positive vibrations that create a protective enda is involved in a fire well, the occurrence of banyan, people, ati, and parasu in scripture is always associated with auspiciousness. Trees grow in a particular environment that including physical features of soil, type, and animal, extremely spiritual and peaceful canopy to the beings who live under them. The leaves from these spiritual charged faces can hold the positive thought current that powerfully repel negative energies when enhanced with the Veda mantras. They further enhance. The Vishesha Dravya Homam is the offering. Vishnu, Rudra, and Ananta are invoked within the Agnikunda. The Agnikunda stop is said to be the very mouth of the gods, while the pit below is the stomach of the god. The Vishesha Dravya Homa various fruits, cooked rice, the coconut is offered as it represents the head of the Devata. Finally, the Annam is adorned with the clothing and flower garlands and is worshipped in the embodiment of the Devata. In the Purnahuti, the Homa select offerings of turmeric, kumkum, and tea, such as almond tree, silver mangalyam, silver coins, and flower garlands for Chandika Devi. The Mangalya Sutra is the auspicious thread that is tied when a woman marries. This thread as a medallion that symbolizes the chastity and elevates the woman as a goddess, a literal embodiment of Parashakti herself. This is the offering of silver, the highest metals that can hold and radiate energy. It is one of the rarest offerings made into the Chandi Agni when the metal itself is consumed by the Agni and given to the cosmic energy directly. The Chandi Homa, Visheshadravya Homa, and Purnahuti is $5,008 US.
Devi Mahatmyam. The various verses of Devi Mahatmyam describe the innumerable benefits of offering the Chandi Homa. In the 12th chapter, the many verses describe these benefits. It is said in the Devi Mahatmyam that the offering of the Chandi Homa can bestow upon the devotees the blessings for the removal of all problems, avoiding all untoward happenings in life, avoiding bad happenings, poverty, separation from beloved ones, the removal of fear from enemies, robber, fire, and flood, saves from all epidemic calamities and natural calamities. And without doubt, all the troubles will be removed by Devi if this Homa is done during the Navaratri, and the participant will be blessed with riches, grains, and children. One becomes fearless. Enemies perish, welfare accrues, and the family rejoices. And all of these benefits are discussed in Homa. Devi Mahatmyam further describes the planets turn favorable and result of good dreams manifest. Completion manifests in between human beings. The presence of all evil spirits are driven away. All the world pleasures that are sought manifest, and also the supreme union with the cosmic mother happens. One becomes siddhant.
Devi agrees happens best according to the verse 20 of Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, dangers of being alone in the forest, surrounded by forest fire, surrounded by robbers in a resolute spot, while captured by enemies. One is saved even further dangers and protected by Devi when chased by a lion, a tiger, when chased by wild elephants in the forest, and when one is the target of the order of a wrathful king, and one is sentenced to death, and one is imprisoned, and when one is tossed about the boat by a tempest in the ocean, when one is the most terrible battle under the shower of weapons, and all other dread.
By the blessings of Devi Parashakti, Devi Durga, by offering of Chandi Homa. Untoward death doesn't happen for him, the one who offers the Homa, and after natural death he attains moksha. All the world pleasures that are sought manifest, and also the supreme union with the cosmic mother happens. Evil possessions haunting the children are removed. The presence of all evil spirits, completion manifests in between human beings. So all of these various Devi Mahatmyam, and you can opt Chandi Homa on the website www. Day of Navaratri, the 9 days, and every night the Purnahuti is offered. The Vishesha Dravya, Homa, and Purna offered in the Chandi Homa.
The next offering is Rajarajeshwari Ekadasha Dravya Abhishekam and Snapana Abhishekam. This is a very special offering where, as per the Shakta Agamas, 11 types of dravyams of Abhishekams items such as the rice flour, turmeric powder, Jaladravya powder, Panchamritam, milk, curd, ghee, honey, sugarcane juice, fruit juice, tender coconut water, and Gandha Jalam will be offered to the Mula Rajarajeshwari in the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam. Finally, the energized waters of Chandi Homa Kalashas and the Shanka, the conch, which have been consecrated during the entire day by various powerful mantras, and the rituals are offered unto the deity of Sri Rajarajeshwari. So the Rajarajeshwari Ekadasha Dravya Abhishekam with Snapana Abhishekam is $1,008.
The next offering during these celebrations of Navaratri is the Kumari Puja rituals, when Devi Parashakti is invoked in the living persons and worshipped. Through the initiation and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, the 9 forms of Devi manifest in the women and children present for the puja. And with that, Hinduism is a religion where everything is Devi Parashakti. The highest auspicious thought currents that occur in that person will be mirrored in our brain as well. A heightened Parashakti will manifest when we see her in a physical form, receiving our worship as Parashakti. So you can make these offerings of Kumari Puja, Dashabhairava Puja.
Kumari Puja, Dashabhairava Puja, Suvasini Puja. Kumari Puja is the children are the pure manifestations of Parashakti with an innocent powerfulness through which the divine can be glimpsed. Parashakti's own extensions are the Kumaris. The Dashabhairava Puja, this puja is offered to young boys who are blessed by and initiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to radiate powerfulness of Parashakti of the Dashabhairavas. Then Suvasini Puja, the married women who are initiates of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism sit as the forms of Parashakti, represents as actual physical body of a Suvasini. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says that women are an embodiment of Parashakti. Here is a unique ritual in Hinduism stating the same sacred sentiments. Sri Ramakrishna had when he offered the Jadadhadri Puja to Sri Sharada Devi. You can offer at $1,000 every day. These pujas, these 3 pujas happen at the Adi Kailash, Sarvagnya Pitam,
which was performed on the day of Saptami, and the deity of goddess Durga, the Prana Pratishtapana was performed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. And Karnava Tantra describes in detail the worship of Durga Devi, which is made out of clay. The Agamic injunctions prescribe the details on the way the clay should be procured. They describe exactly from which land the mud should be procured. And these grand deities are made with the exact proportion as per the Shastras, in the exact icon of Hindu feminism, where the cosmic mother, the cosmic feminine, vanquishes the mass negativity. Tremendous amount of energy lands when Durga Devi receives the Prana Pratishtapana by the Supreme. And this sacred ritual was performed in the Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvagna Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya on to celebrate Durga Devi
The next is Durga Saptami Puja. The tradition of Durga Puja is an ancient way for anyone to receive the grace and blessings of Paramashakti. When she manifests powerfully in the cosmos during the nights of Navaratri, the Durga Puja is described in the Kolar Navatantra, and it is done with a great pride and devotion in the traditions of Bengal. The Durga Puja is an elaborate and intimate ritual where Bhagavati Durga graces and is worshipped with all the best of the best offerings described in the Agamas. The family of Bhagavati Durga, Ganesha, Subramanya, Saraswati, along with their respective Vahanas, all are worshipped and celebrated in the puja, comprises of Mahishasura, Sodaso, this puja comprises of Mahasnana, Sodashopachara Puja, Arati, and this puja is described in such detail and done preparing the Durga Saptami Puja is $1,008 US.
And the next offering to Devi Durga, the celebrations, Navaratri, is the offering of flames in the various towered lamps. The Gopura Arati is numbered representing when we light these towered lamps and offer them to our beloved deities, the lamps awaken and align our energy centers to receive the darshan of the Brahman, to a surreal experience of deities' darshan and transport us to the authentic experience of Kailasa's ambience. So you can offer this Durga Puja Arati on the days of Saptami, and you can register for this on the website www.kailasamailer.com. The grace and compassion of Devi Parashakti. This verse says, Sarvaswarupe Sarveshe Sarvashaktisute. The translation for this verse, O Queen of all, you who exist in the form of all and possess every night, save us from terror, O Devi. Salute be to you, Devi Durga. So you can make this offering of.
The next is the Devi Mahatyam Parayanam. Devi Mahatyam literally means glory of the goddess, is also known as Durga Saptasati, a Chandi Pata. Describes the victory of the goddess Durga over the evil forces, Madhukaitab, Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, Mula Prakriti, the root nature of all that manifests. She is the force that drives everything in the universe. Devi Mahatyam is also significant in that it regards various forms of the Devi, ranging from the fearsome, dangerous Kali to the benign and gentle Sri, as fundamentally unified. 10 priests will be chanting the Devi Mahatyam, which will makes it a total of 7,000 verses every day. So Devi Mahatya Parayana for this, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnu Mayeti Samstita Namashu Vishnu Mayeti Samstita Namastaste 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 Namo Namaha. The first sloka gives respect to Vishnu Maya. O Devi, you are the existing in the form of energy in all. I bow down to you. I bow down to you. I bow down to you. The cost for the Devi Mahatyam of $8.
The next, this ritual is a magical event when Devi Durga slayed the demon Mahishasura. The event when mass negativity was removed by Devi on the time transition between Saptami and Ashtami. This is the Sandhi. At this time, a grand puja is offered to Durga Devi along with Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ganesha, and Subramanya. When these cosmological events are recreated at the same time in history, the stars and celestial bodies are in the same position as they were years ago. The same possibilities of events happen. The same mass negativity will be attended to by the cosmic mother. These rituals are the times when the same energies of the cosmos manifest as a divine clairvoyance and clear the mass negativity from the planet. So you can register for the Durga Ashtami Puja on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
The next is the Ashtami Kumari Puja. Kumari Puja is the ritual done before Devi Durga when a young girl is decorated and worshipped as the embodiment and representation of Durga Devi. This is one of the rarest pujas when the cosmic mother comes in the form of a young girl child, especially after the powerful Sandhi Puja. The energy of Durga Devi is pacified as she appears as a young child accepting our prayers, and for Devi for removing Mahishasura is remembered as the puja is offered to Devi as Kumari. The scriptural reference is Sarvasvarupe Sarveshe Sarvashakti Samanvide, O Queen of all, you who exist in the form of all, possesses every right, every night, save us from terror, O Devi. Salutations to be with you, Devi Durga. This is just $.
The next offering is the Durga Navami by Devi on the time transition between Ashtami and Navami. This is the Sandhi. At this time, a grand puja is offered to Durga Devi along with Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ganesha, and Subramanya. And when these cosmological events are recreated at the same time in history, the stars and celestial bodies are in the same position as they were years ago. The same possibilities of events happen. Negativity will be attended to by the cosmic mother. These rituals are times when the same energies of the cosmos manifest as a divine clairvoyance and clear the mass negativity from the planet. Navami Homam is a unique fire ritual done before Durga Devi Pratima, chanting a unique mantra for Durga Devi, who is invoked in the form of Dagni. The Durga Navami Sandhi Puja and Navami Homa on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and the cost of this puja and homa is 1,008.
The next is Ayudha Puja. On the auspicious day, this is known as Ayudha Puja and is done in every Hindu home. All the tools are washed and kept in an altar. All the cars are also washed and fresh sandalwood paste is applied on them and puja is offered. Special naivedyams and sweets are prepared for the occasion. This day, Parashakti, who is present in tools and vehicles that help our lives become smooth and efficient. It's the day of rejuvenation when all the homes are cleared and all the corners of the home and all the doors are refreshed with the fresh incense and sandalwood paste. The cost is $508.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti during these celebrations, the Utsava Rajamar to the deity of it is a magnificent armor that covers the deity and allows one to have the darshan of the deity in her grand glory. It is an offering of our love and gratitude to the deity of Ragnapita. Utsava Rajarajeshwari Swaranangi, and you can register for this seva on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and the cost of
The next is Pada Puja on Vijayadashami. The scriptural reference from the Guru Gita says, Soshanam Papa Pankasya Deepanam Jnana Tejasam Guru Padomnya Samsara sense lights the fire of Maya in the right way. The offering of Pada Puja at the divine lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on auspicious Vijayadashami day, which is upcoming. You can choose to offer, and the cost is $1,008.
we can go back to the previous slide. No? Yes. So yeah, the Mahanaivedya Seva. The next slide. The Mahanaivedya Seva on the day of Vijayadashmi. So on the auspicious occasion of Vijayadashmi, the Annalayas of Adi Kailasa and the devotees of the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya offer the Mahanaivedya Seva to our beloved Swamiji, our Guru, the Supreme Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness. 8 varieties is an offering of our deep love and gratitude to our beloved Swamiji. The Mahanaivedya Seva is one of the choicest offerings one can make, celebrating Bhagwan's presence in one occasion of Vijayadashmi. And you can register for this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and the cost of this seva is $1,008.
The next is the Tulabharam on Vijayadashami. Tulabharam is the ritual where material donations are made to Hinduism against the weight of his scriptures describe the various items that can be offered, from jaggery to sugar to silver and gold. Tula means scale. It is a scale. The Tulabharam cost is 10,008 euros.
The next offering during this Venkateshwara Brahmotsam, which is celebrated on these days of Dasara, you can make the offering of the Venkateshwara Utsava Murti Alankara Seva to Bhagavan Venkateshwara. Offering of the Alankara Seva to the deity of Venkateshwara bestows the deep fulfillment in life, thereby taking us closer to the Guru who liberates us from the cycle of birth and death. Every day, the Utsava Murti of Bhagavan Venkateshwara is dressed and decked in his gracing on various vahanas or vehicles. Venkateshwara is the Alankara Priya, the one who loves to be decorated with the finest clothing and jewelry, offering the most favorite treasures in the form of clothing, jewelry, and flower garlands pleases Bhagavan Venkateshwara. And this verse describes the glory of Bhagavan Venkateshwara. It says, Sahasrashirsham Devam Vishwashambhuvam Vishvainarayanam Devam Aksharam Paramam Padam. The translation for this verse: this universe is the headed and multi-eyed, that is the omnipresent and omniscient, the resplendent, the source of delight for the whole universe. And great Bhagavan Venkateshwara during this Venkateshwara Brahmotsam, you can offer the Venkateshwara Utsa Murti Alankara. You can sign up for this seva on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
Friday afternoon, the Srivari Venkateshwara Brahmosam, the Lord of the Seven Usam, is offered a favorite of Venkateshwara milk, curd, ghee, honey, fruit juices, coconut water, chandana jalam, haridra jalam. When we offer these seva, we get the grace and blessings of the Venkateshwara relationship. Utsava Venkateshwara Navakalasa Abhishekam, the cost is $508.
register for all the offerings, the sacred rituals, and the sevas during the celebrations of Navaratri and Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam. So the website is www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can click on the Learn More button and get more details about the various offerings for Navaratri. And you can also click on the Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam link for details of the offerings and sevas for Bhagavan Venkateshwara during this Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam. So let us look into the various offerings for Navaratri and the Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam. So when you click on the link for Navaratri, you can find the details of all the Navaratri that can be made to Devi Parashakti, the various rituals that can be offered, and you can participate on all of these various. So the Dashabhairava Puja, the Kumari Puja, and the Devi Mahatmyam Parayanam is also every day of the Brahmotsavam, and the is also offered every day, and the deities of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the Garbha Mandir is decorated in the various each day. So you can register for the Alankara Seva. The Vishesha Shodashopachara Puja is offered every day also. Homa, 9 days of celebration of Navaratri, of celebrating the happening of Devi. And the Purnahuti is throughout the day, 7,000 verses, 700 verses chanted by 10, and then the Purnahuti is offered. The Chandi Homa is offered to Devi Parashakti. And as we are celebrating, we can also offer the various special of Ashtami, Navami, and Dashami. So we have the Saraswati Utsava Ambal Alankara Seva on day 9. And we have the Devi Durga Ambal. We will be celebrating the Durga on day 8. So you can offer the Homa and Purnahuti. So you can make these various offerings on the website. You can learn more. And for the Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam, you can make all of these offerings. You can learn more about these offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And with this, now we'll move to the next segments, where we'll have the blessings and witness the sacred rituals directly from Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvajñapita, Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya, and have the direct darshan of Devi Parashakti and Bhagavan Venkateshwara, and of course the direct live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, will be gracing and blessing us on this occasion as we celebrate Devi Navaratri and Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam. So now let us get ready for receiving the live darshan and witnessing the sacred rituals and pujas offerings from Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvajñapita, Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya. With this, we'll move to the darshan. Get ready for the darshan of Devi and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Let's chant the Mahavakya. Get ready to receive the live darshan and witness the sacred rituals from the temple. So let's now chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Oham. Om